I don't know what I'm doing. I just have this crazy idea to record this journey from law to data science, and hopefully it inspires at least one person. So, law to data science, meaning I am trying to become some sort of engineer, maybe like a machine learning engineer, or someone who uses programming languages to work magic. So, this is very basic stuff. I'm hoping that I can stay committed to just showing you what's going on, how I'm learning, and like I said, if it can help someone, then that's a plus. So, this is just the basics of what I'm doing. Uh, Programming meaning using programming languages. So, I'm learning Python, which is a fairly, I wouldn't say easy language, but compared to others, it's more beginner friendly in terms of syntax and just understanding what it's about. And yeah, this is the IDE, which is an integrated development environment. It's just like an editor, which allows you to more easily use the language and get results from it. So this is PyCharm, and this is my editor right here. And I'm just going to show the basics. The first thing people usually learn when they're learning a new language is how to print hello world, because this statement tends to give you a lot about what the syntax of a particular language is. And it's just, just a fun, easy way to introduce somebody to the language. So for Python, you'd go print hello world. And I'm using a Mac, so to run this, I'm gonna go Control Alt R, and boom, it prints hello world. So the print statement obviously means you want to output whatever comes after. And it's as simple as that. If you're able to do this, you are on your way to becoming a programmer. But since I'm Jamaican, we're going to switch it up a bit. And I'm going to say print log one. In fact, I should call this channel Yadi Code or something. So print log one. And we get right here. Now, one of the fun things about Python is you're able to use what's called variables. If you remember math class, you have x equal 5, y equal 10. What is the value of x plus y? Similarly, in programming, you have these variables that you can assign different values to, and then you can use that variable at a later part in the program. So for instance, if I wanted to print my name, I could say name equal Georgette. And whenever I need to say my name throughout the program, instead of putting Georgette, I could just say name. And this is obviously useful because what if at some point you want to change the name from Georgette to Tom? Then you don't have to go through the whole program and change Georgette to Tom. So let's show you how it works. You could say print, oops, big enough, log one. And to get Georgette, you do what's called formatting of the print statement. You just put a little F right there. And then this means you're able to insert the variable in the print statement. So you use in curly brackets, you say name. And I'm going to do what's called commenting this out, just putting a hashtag, which means it's not going to print. Comment is useful in cases where you don't want this particular line of code to run, or if you want to just make a simple note at a particular line, it's useful. So in this case, I don't want this to print, so I've used the hashtag to comment it out. So when I do run this, which is boom, it gives me Wagwan Georgette right here. You might be thinking, what's the point in saying Wagwan Georgette, Wagwan name, when it's obvious that the name is Georgette? So let me show you how it would work. Let's say you don't know who is using the program, but you want to greet whoever uses the program. You could ask the user to insert their name, and I do this by saying name equals input. And input means you're asking the user of the program to input their name. And let's say, what is your name? delete that. When we run this, it's no longer going to say Georgette. It's going to first say, what is your name? And let's use a different name. Let's say the name is Thomas. It now says Wagwan Thomas. So I really need to stop talking now. Essentially, these are just basic things. As you can see by just looking at the screen, you don't have to be a computer scientist to understand what's on the screen. I think any beginner could look at this and just read it because it's using a lot of English, words and not much symbols really. So you could just read it and see that, okay, it's asking for the person's name and it's then taking whatever name that is and greeting the person right here. And that's the fun thing about Python or any programming language really. It's there. You can, well, I don't want to say any programming language. What am I saying? I'm sounding like an idiot now. That's the fun thing about Python. You can read what it says. But in any event, it is still a language, and all languages have their own syntax, their different rules that you have to learn in order to be fluent. And this is my journey to being fluent in Python. So, thanks for listening, and see you next time on Yadi Code. I'm not quite sure about that name.